No. People who work, who have families, who pay their bills, when you meet them, you will know that man, they are exhausted mostly. And that is why when they get angry, it is mostly about wrong things. Have you noticed that? That Nigerians will just get so mad about absolute nonsense. Grown up men, people we don't you could see them, they argue about nonsense, getting so tense, so angry, so enraged. Say, wait happen, bros. Why you get so angry like this? I don't know. I don't know. Say, but you are so angry. Like ever don't they beg you since you just say, you don't know why you did angry? Say, I don't know, bros. I don't know. Something just tell me, say, make I just para. Say, wow, now Chris, you did so madness be this, so when you did mad, when you don't know why you did angry. That's the situation that people have picked really, they can't explain why they're angry. They can't because they have become so overwhelmed and exhausted. So few ones who still have their minds intact, those who still are able to put their thoughts together and all of that, those ones are also diminishing, by the way, day by day. You can't explain it. The criminal politicians want you to feel good, like that Matthew said. But in reality, that is not what you are getting. Things are going to get better, things are getting better, but things are not. What are you going to get from all of this now? In another few days, the product will be available again, but it will never be for the price that you last had it. It won't. Who allowed that? If you have a responsible government, why would this even happen? It's because you don't have one. They are pretending to be one, but what makes them government is the policies, the actions, the decisions they make on your behalf that affect millions of people, not just one, not 10, not 100, millions. That's why they are government. You can't give them excuses. Our people are very greedy. They like to rob Nigerians. They are very selfish. Government cannot do everything. Do you think if people are allowed to be killing people, do you think people will not be killing people like if killing other people is allowed? Eh? Do you really think people won't do it and just beat somebody to death and walk away? Law makes it impossible. You can't just do that. So it is the same law that applies to economy, where your government knows when people are being, you get, but no, they will look away. And at the end of the day, you will never go back to where you were. They will never tell you why things changed. You will read it here and there, no clearer explanation, nothing. You will never go back to 230 naira per kg of that gas again. You won't. But they will still tell you to be grateful. Have you not noticed? Especially those of you who are actually the real people who are having this your daily, hustle being so devalued from your pocket every day by people who get everything for free. They'll probably be selling it to you for maybe 600 naira, 700 naira per kg or 800 naira per kg. That's it. The Ronokus will begin to say, it don't come down now. The gas don't come down now. They are not saying thank you. Come down to what? To 700 naira. Do you know how much people are buying it last week? Last month, they are buying it for 2,005, 3,000. They don't even see them until Mr. President told them to release the gas now. And now it is 700 naira per kg. And it's available. And they want you to be grateful. That's how they do it. And those of you who are very hardworking, you are not begging government for anything. Not like in this country where people with children get child support. Those who are disabled, they get a disability support. Everybody gets healthcare cover. right? And whatever you now take from your workplace will still be manageable enough for you that you don't have to worry about all these bills, all these other ones, right? You don't get that in Nigeria. You have to work for everything. And yet, it seems never to be enough. Why? Because some criminals have chosen to take care of themselves and take care of you, even though they are telling you that they are working day and night to take care of you. But you can't feel it, you can't see it. They are calling you names that is because you don't like them. That is why you are not seeing it. And you go out every day, you hold your money and you count it and you're like, it's not even enough. This used to be enough. You walk to the shop. Can you please give me milk? Give me sugar. Then give me a bag of chips. Here. Say, no, this can only buy a bottle of water. You can't buy chips. You can't buy all of that. But I used to be able to buy all of that with this. So we're not anymore. What am I going to do now? Because if I'm unable to, that means my entire income, which hasn't really improved, will no longer be able to pay for everything else as well. Then I'm in trouble. I've got a job. I'm working. Say, yeah, fine. Go and talk to your government who have devalued your currency, lying to you about inflation, and expecting you to be, just look out and be hopeful. Everything is going to be fine. I don't think this brother wants to hear that.
ẹjọ́ tó yọ ọlọ́run tẹ́ bá lè control nàìjíríà mọ́ ẹ̀jẹ̀ lọ tà fáwọn ṣáínà àbí kẹ́ tà fún ghana ẹjọ́ tó yọ ọlọ́run tẹ́ bá lè control nàìjíríà mọ́ ẹ̀jẹ̀ lọ tà síbi kan káwá lọ dá àwọn nǹkan kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ gangan ẹ̀dẹ̀ sọ nàìjíríà ti wèrè mọ́ wa lọ́wọ́ kí ló dé mẹ̀kúnnù náà ló máa ń fara gbá gbogbo ẹ̀ gbogbo wọ̀rọ̀bù tẹ́ bá dálẹ̀ gbogbo wèrè tẹ́ bá dálẹ̀ mẹ̀kúnnù náà ló máa fara gbá gbogbo ẹ̀ kò sílẹ̀ tó kàn yín bẹ́ẹ̀ torí pé ọ̀fẹ́ lẹ́yìn gbáyé kí ló dé torí pé àwọn kan bá Dangote gáàsì yìí ẹ̀dẹ̀ increase gáàsì increase owó gáàsì kò sí iná kò sí gáàsì ṣé kò ṣe mẹ̀kúnnù lẹ́ ń fara ní báyẹn kí ló dé kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ gangan àwọn ń wá gáàsì kiri 1 kg of gas 2,000 1 kg of gas 2,000 naira ṣó yẹ kó máa rí bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣá àwọn tó ń fi gáàsì ṣe indomie tó fi ṣe gbogbo nǹkan sí àwọn náà máa increase gbogbo nǹkan tó ń tà a máa ṣe indomie ẹ̀yọ kan fún wa ní one bay indomie 400 wọ́n máa ṣe ní one bay ẹ̀kan fara ni wá ẹjọ́ tó yọ ọlọ́run tẹ́ bá lè control nàìjíríà yìí mọ́ ẹjọ́ ẹ lọ ẹ tà fún gòbè jákè tà fún gòbè kí ló dé ṣé Dangote ló control nàìjíríà ni àbí dáàdi wa Tinubu kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ gangan torí pé wọ́n bá Dangote gáàsì mẹ̀kúnnù rẹ̀ ń fara ni ẹ tàn wá kúrò orí kerosene ẹ tàn wá sí gáàsì ẹ mú amúgùn ẹ gbé wa mọ́ra lẹ́ẹ̀kan náà ẹ dẹ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní yí sókè ẹ ní wá lára ju kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ gangan mẹ̀kúnnù ló forí kó gbogbo ẹ̀ náà ọ̀fẹ́ lẹ́yìn gbáyé ẹjọ́ tí ọlọ́run ẹ̀yin tẹ́ bá ń bá Dangote jẹ́ lọ sẹ́tù ìjà yín o ìjà yín ti ń àfẹ́ ti mẹ̀kúnnù báyìí o ẹ lọ sẹ́tù ìjà yín kò sí iná kò sí gáàsì o àwọn ìyàwó lè ń wá gáàsì káàkiri ní ara ní mẹ̀kúnnù o ẹ lọ sẹ́tù ìjà yín o ìjà yín ti ní mẹ̀kúnnù lára o.
wọ́n sọ̀rọ̀ bí ọ̀rọ̀ epo àwọn á di 200 á di bàbá. ẹ fọkàn balẹ̀ àmàgbé wálẹ̀.
ẹ lọ fọkàn balẹ̀ ẹ lọ fọkàn balẹ̀ ẹ lọ fọkàn balẹ̀.
The cost of fuel has gone up. Food and other prices have followed it. Households and businesses struggling. Things seem anxious and uncertain. I understand the hardship you face. I wish there were other ways, but there's not.
Things are getting better for Nigeria. Things are getting better. For Asiwaju is on the throne. Things are getting better. Things are getting better. Things are getting better. Mr. President, things are getting better. Hey, I said, things are getting better for Nigeria. For Nigeria is on the way. Progressive government Things are getting better. Asiwaju, congratulations. Things are.
Nah, Taye currency song una go see sing last. We're laughing wo weary. If you can't pay for gas, you probably would have to go back to firewood. You know, do you use firewood for your what have you? So Bra was partying like many others who have made several videos of this thing lasts for another 2 days. While I go happen or NNPC GMD appointed by Tifnumbu. Ojulari was with Tifnumbu last night, according to him. And they went there to brief him and wherever. Then they asked him about this gas scarcity. And his own explanation is that it's because of this PENGASSAN strike. So what is going to happen? Like, oh yeah, people were hoarding it. They were keeping the products because I mean, what's going to happen now? You wait.
May we know the updates you have brought to him?
No, thank you very much. I think it was quite an important opportunity to update the president on the progress in NNPC, particularly in terms of our production performance, in terms of all the progress we are making in terms of attracting investment. As you recall, Mr. President gave us a very clear mandate, which is to grow production to at least 2 million barrels per day by 2027 and up to 3 million barrels per day by 2030, as well as grow gas production as well. So where are we on that, and how are we progressing this year, and how are we preparing for next year in terms of ensuring that we deliver this growth? So that was one of the key areas of my update to the president.
So where are we, like you said, where are we particularly in terms of production?
So we're making good progress. As you know, we recorded about 1.68 million barrels per day of oil production last month, which was very good. That was the first in about 5 years in terms of milestones. We also recorded the highest gas production at about above 7 BCF per day again, which is also the highest in recent times. But what we're also expecting is that with some of the turnaround maintenances that we've done in the month of August and September, all of those are meant to come back this month. And we are hoping that before the end of the year, we should at least be clocking at least 1.8 million barrels per day, all things being equal.
Nigerians recently saw how the activities of PENGASSAN affected oil production and the distribution as well. How have you been able to address these, and have you been able to ramp up production?
Yeah, very good. I think it was quite unfortunate that the Dangote and PENGASSAN issue, led to the strike. And as you know, whenever there's strike and critical staff manning critical facilities are not available, it's almost impossible. In this particular case, we actually lost significant production of almost over 200,000 barrels per day of production that was deferred. We also have gas production that was deferred, and power generation also was impacted. About 1.2 megawatts of power was affected by that strike. But I think I'm very pleased that the federal government, through the leadership of the Federal Minister for Labor and also full support from the National Security Advisor, we're able to pull together everyone into a dialogue and bring everybody to the table. And now there's been a communique that has been agreed on the way forward. We're all very hopeful that everyone will abide by those communiques. So since then, we've been able to return quite a number of the production back to status quo. There are one or two areas where we're still trying to catch up, but overall, we are gradually gone back to restore the lost production and the deferments that we have as of today.
Nigeria's experienced a bit of increase in gas price. How about that? How is that been addressed?
Yeah, so the increase you saw was relatively artificial because, for the period of the strike, what that meant was that quite movements and loading were delayed by about 2-3 days, right? And because of that, you see that impact. As things return back to normal, it takes some time for distribution to be fully restored. So that delay, and of course, as you know, with Nigerians, people take opportunity. with that delay, some of the people that have existing resources and reserves had to put up the price. My expectation is that now that things are back to normal, prices should return back to what they were before the strike.
Thank you, sir.
It's my pleasure.
The assurance. I don't know. I want to say something about this NNPC thingy. Okay. One guy spent $3.5 billion in maintenance of the refineries, and it ended up as fraud. There was no maintenance carried out. The money developed wings. That's not me. I didn't say that. It is the EFCC of Tinubu that has now called back the former director, the GMD, who spent the billions in maintaining crap. And they put up a show, quite a show, right? To deceive millions of people in that country, while behind the scene, they continue to import fuel to the country. Why are you importing so much fuel if your refineries are working? Then it ended up like it wasn't. It was all lies. Then this one said he wouldn't mind to sell the refineries. You get that now? Then they changed their mind again. They're like, you know what? We won't sell it. We are going to carry out maintenance again. So he's yet to disclose how much he is going to spend in maintenance. So that is secondary. They love to brag about they love to brag about the increase in their oil production, which ordinarily should be a good thing, by the way. Like Nigeria depends solely on crude oil production and the money from it. These rogues for years have been talking about diversification. Proceed from crude oil, like they did in Dubai and some other oil producing countries who use the proceed from their crude oil to upgrade their infrastructure, diversify it into investing in tourism, and so many other things, right? That gives them extra cash just in case when the oil dries up, right? So these rogues have been talking about diversification. Agriculture could have been a great deal, but with terrorism, that remains a mirage. But they are cooking figures around this. They are doing all this, elaborate celebration about this new signed deal or new testimonial from people who got a grant from them just to look good on paper. But in reality, damn. If Numbuda told you that he cultivated 40,000 hectares of land. Remember, I was asking where, right? 40,000 hectares of land. I said, wait till they plant. What are they expecting to harvest? It's the same Tifnumbu that is working on now to flood Nigeria with imported grains, imported food, like to bring food into Nigeria, not from their farms. 40,000 hectares of farm is quite big. It should be substantial. It's all lies. Tifnumbu imported how many tractors? 1,000 tractors. Right now, they did ceremony of receiving tractors. It's been months now, right? Not a single one of them has been put to use anywhere because they will still have to roll up a ceremony, which will then be used as its achievement. Because the intention is not to increase the agricultural production, protect the farmers, protect these farm settlements. No, it's just to put a gloss over the whole thing and make it look shiny, while in reality, nothing is done or is being done. So back to this NNPC. How much money have they made from this sale of crude oil? If they tell you that for the first time in 2 years, for the first time in 5 years, for the first time in this, okay, how much have you remitted so far? They won't disclose that. It all started from Boko Haram's time. It never used to be like that. Those who claim to be Democrats, criminals, and all that. So, PENGASSAN and Dangote. Shitty man was somewhere where they had the Nigeria Economic Summit or something. I believe in Abuja, where he gave a speech, and part of that speech was to stand up for Dangote. You know what happened between that Dangote Pengassan, right? So the deal was that Dangote would take back these workers. So he would unsack them. So he brought them back. And the agreement then was that they will no longer work in the refinery, all of them. And these were guys that were trained by him, according to the report. They have been trained specially, locally and abroad, all paid for by Dangote to acquire the kind of needed skills to manage the refinery. So